New journal entry from Joe Goldberg. In these somewhat unprecedented times, I have found interest in you, Kelsey Brown. That's why I've stalked you for the past week to write this very introduction. You walk into the den at about 7:37 to be precise. It's almost like you want to be late, but you can't be that much of a baddie just yet. You walk over to your locker, which is right behind mine, where you're rummaging through your bag to find your books. Alas, you have left your bag on the floor once again to be picked up by Mrs. Love and thrown into her new senior bag collection. It seems like you didn't learn your lesson from yesterday. At 7:43, you then walk in front of me to first period. Are you following me like I'm following you? Have you caught on? No, it seems not yet, because you unhurriedly walk to Miss Loden's Hicks class for first period. Next spotting, chapel. You slouch down into the seat, letting your hair fall back onto our hymn books. It's almost as if you want to be noticed and want me to write about this specific moment. Lunch rolls around. You rush to get there first to be in line, but unfortunately, the freshmen and sophomores are in front of you, and that makes you angry. You then eat in the cafeteria, away from the chaos of the senior den. Do you not like the humidity and the closeness of all the seniors in the den? Finally, at the end of school, you are nowhere to be seen by the time I walk into the den at 3:15. Where did you have to rush to? Perhaps Chick-fil-A, the volleyball court, or Lausanne? Maybe we will not find out, but I will continue my investigation for another day. But seriously, Kelsey has been such a light in our grade ever since she joined in the 8th grade. Her smile and presence can instantly brighten up any room. I don't know what the class of 2022 would be without Kelsey and her constant kindness. Now I know she has something amazing to say, so please give it up for the one and only Kelsey Dominique Brown.
I want to begin my speech by telling you all that today is my 18th birthday. "18 years ago, on November 18th at 12:21 p.m., I was born. Now, this introduction has absolutely nothing to do with my speech, but I knew I couldn't just leave out that very important piece of information. So today is my birthday, and happy birthday to me. Instead, today I want to tell you all how I learned from one of the biggest changes I've experienced so far in my 18 years of life. In early May of this year, there were 2 new additions to my home. I came home to my disabled granddad sitting in my father's reclining chair, and my 5-year-old uncle, Sydney, playing with Hot Wheels in the living room, all while the TV was blaring on the sports channel. Now, many of you may not know, but there are 4 people in my family: my mom and dad and my older sister and me. So, a regular evening at my house is normally pretty quiet, which is completely the opposite of what I walked into that day. My sister told me that they would be staying for the weekend while their air conditioning was being fixed. However, a weekend turned into a week turned into a month, and now it had almost been a year. So, growing up, I had never experienced many hardships. I've always had a roof over my head, clothes to wear, and plenty of opportunities to do the activities of my choice. We often take for granted these basic necessities of life that most of us have always grown up with. While I had not experienced any hardships, I was always taught to be independent and that growing up would come with more responsibilities and challenges. And with these 2 new additions to my family came many new challenges. There was no way my family and I could have properly prepared for what was to come. I never imagined that I would be making chicken nuggets and french fries for a 5-year-old and his neighborhood friends and tucking him into bed the summer leading into my senior year. However, I did all of this. As time went on, I began to feel overwhelmed. I'm not one to usually complain or to let people know when I'm struggling, but during this time, I felt I had so many responsibilities and different distractions. I began to feel like I had to get out of my house to get any work done and to be relieved of the chaos. Well, with different events happening at the end of the year that most people do with their parents, like shopping for dresses for different dances, or preparing to apply for colleges, I found myself doing these things on my own. I became more independent, but initially, I looked at this new normal as a burden, and it made me resentful because I wondered why this had to happen to me and why at this time in my life. Well, when I began thinking about this speech in August at Victory Ranch, I wasn't sure what to write about. But Miss Ray told us to tell the audience a story. She told us to use the narrative arc as an outline for our ideas, beginning with the setting, then the rising action, the climax, the falling action, and finally the resolution. Originally, I chose this story to talk about, but I wasn't sure what my resolution would be. Sydney and my granddad seemed like they would be living with us forever because this was the best thing for them. which really strayed me away from telling this story. It was so personal, and I didn't know where it ended, so how could I stand here and tell you all a story that had no ending? But I realized that life, as I knew, was not going to go back to normal. Instead, this new chapter of my life was going to be my new normal. I know that there is never a perfect way to prepare for what is to come in the future, but I would like to think that I've been preparing for this my whole life. Now, 8 months later, I realize what a great joy having new people in my house has been. There was always something new to look forward to every day, like the new caregivers that would park in the driveway and they would park in my spot. There was a time when I would have been upset about something so minor like this. But now I think about how grateful I was for every one of those caregivers that helped my granddad each day and that took some of my mom's worries away. Now that my granddad has passed away, I reflect on every moment of anger and every moment of laughter we shared. I remember how much Sydney loved his dad and how much he would walk into his room every day after school to say, "Hey, Pawpaw," to which my granddad would respond with, "Hey, son." Thinking back on these moments had me realize that through all these challenges that came with Sydney and my granddad moving in, came some of the most exciting moments I've ever experienced. I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. I still give Sydney a hug and a kiss before bed, and I still make chicken nuggets and french fries for him. But my family and I do these tasks because that's what we love to do. I wanted to share my story with you all because I know I'm not the only person in the room that has gone through a life-changing event. Now that I am 18, there will be many more challenges in life that I'll face. Next year, I will go off to college where there will be new responsibilities to take on. And though there will be new challenges, I choose to believe that whatever challenge I'll face, I can get through it because I've done it before. So I encourage you all to not be afraid of what you cannot control. Try to look at whatever challenge you're facing in a positive light and know that there's always a reason for it. I want to leave you all with a reminder from Isaiah chapter 43, that God will carry you through any storm. So no matter what obstacle comes your way, remember there's light at the end of the tunnel. Thank you.